Greetings from Mobility Outlook and welcome to Women in Mobility. With more than 26 years of experience in automotive industry, especially with extensive working knowledge in vehicle dynamic systems, Shweta Jahagirdar is currently the head of embedded diagnostic EOL and telematics at Tata Motors, responsible for electronics design primarily in commercial vehicles and a partial support for passenger vehicles. A passionate technocrat, Shweta has been working in various domains in the Engineering Research Center of Tata Motors in the electronics division. She is involved in designing and developing the diagnostic software for commercial and passenger vehicles manufactured by Tata Motors, providing end-to-end diagnostic solutions for both passenger and commercial vehicles. She is also specialized in both onboard and off-board vehicle diagnostics. One of the pioneering team members in introducing telematics and connectivity in Tata Motors, she continues to be involved in the areas of connectivity, ITS, to identify the new connectivity zones and digitize them. She works extensively to develop embedded electronics to support electronics in vehicles and help the proliferation of mechatronics in commercial vehicle range. Earlier, she has dealt with numerous technologies in various fields at Tata Motors, right from PLC-based machines in the foundry environment to weld shops in the car plant, dealership connect for service, and contributed to IPR generation, Innovista, and technology development. Shweta, welcome to Women in Mobility, an initiative by Mobility Outlook to engage with women leaders across mobility ecosystem to understand the perspective on leadership and take inspiration from their corporate journey. Welcome, Shweta.
Thank you, Murli. Thank you very much for this introduction.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. So women joining commercial vehicle manufacturing companies is significantly less. What made you to look at this option?
Actually, way back, I joined Tata Motors in '95. Industrial Tata Motors was a brand that time, and today also it is actually. And anyone entering into Tata Motors was looked as if it was like wow. Obviously, because of lot of MNCs was not there that time, so this was one dream company for anyone. And I've seen my father working in the industrial zone with lot more of mechanical background. And right from my schooling, I was also fascinated more on the mechanics, shop floor environment, and I did work as a technical student in my school. And that all actually gave me the insight to join Tata Motors actually.
Okay. So how was your initial days of leadership journey and the support you received from your male colleagues?
It was very good actually during my initial days, and then I have worked here from grounds up. So I started my career on shop floor, and I was working in the machine tool division, foundry, Indica car plant, which was the first indigenized vehicle, and the plant was also in. So I have worked there, and it was a pretty good experience. Though very few employees, women employees, were there that time. So at start, people used to see that, oh, whether she'll be able to deliver, and then later on, I got good support. It was like a small family in electronics division, and it really helped the women colleagues here to groom and grow. And there was no discrimination per se that she's a lady, whether she should be sent on shop floor, let her work the office. It was all free and all opportunities were given.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience to start with.
Yeah. When you were involved in that PLC-based missions in this foundry environment and weld shop that you mentioned in the car plant, what was your motivating factor to pursue your career?
Working in foundry is that way not a very it will not be right to say that it's a very good experience per se, but for me it was a very happening experience. Till today, when I visit foundry, I always feel that, oh, I have missed working there. The environment definitely is dusty with too much of hot iron, molten iron flowing back and here. So that were not very conducive to any female employees. There were hardly anyone actually. I was the only lady working in the shop floor area foundry that time, with no washrooms. But it was a very good experience, and we had a project to commission within 8 days time. And when I reached there, people started looking at me. I was too short and very thin. So whether this lady will be able to work in foundry environment. And then after my first day, they realized, yes, probably she would do it. And then there was a full support and backing from all the team, because the 8th day we had to make it happen. So as a team, we worked, and I was leading it actually, and at a very tender age, and they did offer me that, worked under my leadership, and then we delivered the mold on the 8th day perfectly at 8 o'clock in the evening. And that
Wow.
was very, very good experience.
Wow, wow, fantastic, fantastic to know. Yeah, the foundry and the forging plants, they have said, no, attributed as dirty, difficult, and dangerous, 3D. So,
Yeah.
as an young engineer, and then getting into that environment, and then accomplishing the target, fantastic. That's great to know. Nice, Sweta. You are specialized in vehicle diagnostics, both on-board and off-board telematics. As a woman, what kind of uniqueness do you bring into the vehicle diagnostics ecosystem?
As I mentioned, I first started with foundry and all this. So first 8 to 10 years of my career, I just spent on the automation kind of thing, and then
Mm,
we slowly shifted to the soft part of it, which is the auto support part of it. And then the realization came that there is no diagnostics available in India,
mm,
and we were the pioneers actually to establish and create a tool set for our dealership, give
mm,
it to the dealership. And to tell you very frankly, how much suppliers I have met during those days. I never found any women employee in any of that area, and I was all alone most of the time. I do have one more colleague who worked with me along with that. Uh, so we started right from a very raw system, and
mm,
we were taking airbags from hotel of Germany actually, and we gave the first tool set to Germany because they didn't had anything to test at their end, and that was the start where we did everything manual. And I will not say gender, but mostly there is a difference the way the lady employee will operate and the way gents will operate.
mm,
Uh, for a lady, she will immediately see that I have to do it, close it, and that's done. That's the way her approach is anywhere she goes. So
mm,
that characteristics of a lady did help me in this, because you need faster response when it
yeah,
is at a dealership. The vehicles are standing, the customer
mm,
is howling. So
mm,
that's where we looked into. We started with a very raw system, and today it's all online, all connected, all digitized. So
mm,
that's a very long journey and very far off we have come up. We started with, I think, only with K Block or Indica plant, and today I am supporting maybe all plants: Pune, Jamshedpur, Lucknow, Dharwad, Uttarakhand, Sanand, and
okay.
even ACGL. So that's a very long journey, and we did envisage to get
Mm,
it to the perfection, you can say.
okay. So, sitting in one place, you are able to manage everything. That's the connected technology of today.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must have also had a lot of field experience, understanding customers' requirement, etc. Uh, how did you cope those challenges?
Um, Not everything was good, not everything was bad. So it was pretty
Hmm.
much mixed, because we did support the diagnostics at the dealership. So at start it was more focused on the passenger car, and then slowly it became to commercial, because the number of electronics started more with passenger than with commercial. So we had direct interaction with the dealership technician, the person who was actually diagnosing the vehicle, and they had huge pressure from the customer that the vehicle has to be delivered right now, and if they are not able to solve the problem, the pressure used to come on us. So did get that experience. It was better sometimes. Obviously we have to stand by Tata Motors, explain them, support them. So we did collect what is the pain point for a technician by directly interacting with the technician, have a partial support system, or you can say a online telephonic support system we had, where I was also part of that, and interacted directly with the dealership, with the customer, what is the pain point, understood that. Travel, obviously during that period I was carrying, I had kids, so travel I avoided, but we did had some visit to the dealership, some visit to the suppliers, try to collect the main pain point, and then we tried to enhance the toolset according to whatever the pain points the direct dealership or the technician will be having it.
Hmm.
And on shop floor, the challenge every time was that the takt time is always a concern. The
Yeah.
takt time is the time between two stations.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And within that time, you had to do a lot of activities. So there where the challenge comes, then we had to take the requirement, drill it down, understand it out, and then give the right solution.
Yeah, great. You have worked in various domains in the engineering research center, electronics at Tata Motors. How has this shaped your career?
Thanks to Tata Motors. I really owe that to my company more. And nowhere I was not given any project because of me being a female. So that gender, though it's a male dominant company, because uh, out of 100% there are 80% male employees, so obviously the culture is that way.
Yeah.
But the way I have done it in ERC is that I have got a lot of numerous of opportunities. So I started on shop floor, did it, delivered it, then moved to vehicle diagnostics. We pioneered diagnostics in Tata Motors. So anywhere you go in Tata Motors, when it's diagnostics, my name comes next. That's how we pioneered. Similarly, for connectivity, we pioneered in 2001. I carried my small daughter to Delhi Auto Expo and we actually demonstrated it. So my boss said, please go ahead and do it. Don't restrict yourself for doing anything.
Okay.
We did all that, and then today we are having, I think, 2 to 3 plus lakhs vehicles connected. And I think that's one of the greatest part that Tata Motors has achieved in connectivity domain, where so many vehicles are connected to the Tata Cloud actually. So that's how it is. And then post the connectivity area development, I started heading the electronics design, where we are actually a small tier one kind of a center. We design, develop, manufacture hardware, and I had all that. And that we supply to our commercial vehicles, both from the design point of view as well as supply. And then obviously, as I mentioned, I do supply to all plants. So every plant I'm typically interacting with for the end of life. So it's a very vast portfolio, and I am thankful to my company for giving me that opportunity. That shaped my career actually, and I feel whatever I'm there today, it's mostly because of all these different opportunities. I did not had to search for a different company for a different job, so I got it here.
Okay.
And we have the crash facility, so that also helped me
Yes.
to shape my career along with my family.
Okay. In general, what according to you are the impediments for the women that prevent their career growth?
There are two, I would say. One is emotional and second is practical. If I touch to emotional one, it's more fact. Then again, I would go to the gender. It's not a gender agnostic, but most of the women in Indian society, be it a housewife or a working woman, she will always feel that she has to excel in any field she does. Whether it's about her husband, about the children, about the house, about the cooking, about the job. So A plus is her aim anywhere she goes.
Okay.
So that A plus is actually the stress booster for her, and that is the, I feel, the major impediment. And I always keep myself also key, don't think of A plus, but it's a habit. It's a nature actually. So that's the emotional impediment, which will give more stress. In a stressful environment, the delivery definitely impacts. So that's what I feel. And practical, uh, very frankly, that shift jobs, travel, putting the balance between home, work. So these are definitely there, or maternity leaves, sabbatical leaves, just to decide sometimes where to put the right priority and then start over again from that priority is definitely an
impediment. Well, how do you encourage your team, especially women colleagues? Now, what kind of approach do you follow in your leadership role? Will you be flexible, rigid, or in between?
I follow one rule actually. I am not having a separate rule for the women employees or women colleagues or
Okay.
separate for. I try to actually keep it same, because I being the lady, people feel that she's more inclined towards a lady employee. So I try to be impartial, but I understand on the other hand that it's more challenging for a lady when she is looking on both the fronts and she is managing. But then my motto is to understand the issue, make the team. So if it is a lady employee, understand the issue. Like I had a case in my area where she was all alone here with her husband and 2 kids, very small one, and her family was in North, and her husband met with an accident. So just called me late evening, ki madam aise aise hua hai. So I said that you can drop your kids to my place, we'll arrange it out, and then you can take care of your husband. Or then we actually within the team managed one employee to her place who could take care of her kids. Still her family members came. So that kind of support, because I understand it's difficult for a lady to actually cope up everything looking at the kids. So that is what I try to give them, that kind of support. Second is, even it is with the male colleagues or female colleagues, probably I'm more empathetic actually to my team. So and that's one of our culture credo also. So I like to understand what is the concern behind the person when he or she is not delivering, and then try to attack the concern rather than the delivery. So automatically so that's how I do it in my team. Sometimes I'm being harsh, but not every time. So just try to understand the person, his state of mind, and then do the delivery. Second, you always have all the R&R empowerment. So I believe in truly empowering people right at the day one they come in, and then do that. So that's how I think uh, we have been working together, and we have the culture credo in Tata Motors. So that's what I do, follow the same things actually. We do have the crash facility. So if any lady employees are having any difficulty, just go to that level, understand them, make them comfort, and then so they will deliver the right shit. That's what I feel.
Interesting, interesting. How do you strike a balance between work and life? There is no A plus here, you said.
Yeah. I'm a truly believer in work-life balance actually, and I give the equal priority to my house and equal priority to my home. Though these days it's bit of crazy, but I try to do that. As I mentioned, when I started my career, my kids were small. I used to get them to the creche. Sometimes I had to carry my kids to the shop floor also, and that time it was not that critical. So I used to take them after 6, complete the job, and then take them home. So I did focus on spending more quality time with my daughters. So today they are actually very means I feel that's my credit to take it, or rather I compliment that they feel that yes, my mom is there. So that's the only word I feel has helped me to balance out both work and family. And I have uh, I'm from a school called Prabodhini actually. So in Nan Prabodhini, we are having the alumni of students. Then we pick up students who have excelled in their career and grown. So I was one of the students who were awarded, and specifically for maintaining the work-life balance in the right phase.
Congrats.
That was so I truly believe, and I actually even if my lady employee is working at late night 10 o'clock, I just tell her, hold on, it can continue tomorrow also. Pay attention to your family and kids where it is more important. So maybe till 7 or 6:30 max, they can focus on the work, and then the family has to be the second life actually.
Great. Shweta, your vision for the mobility of the future. There are a lot of things coming, electric, hydrogen. Do you see the new mobility giving more opportunities for women?
Yes, sure. Because it will not be only what to say off highway or on highway kind of activities. There'll be a lot more at the background because it will be connected. So monetization of the data would be the prime crux. So definitely that will give. So I mean, though there are women drivers and people doing all sorts of this, but the safe, connected, and shared will be the three, I think, pillars for mobility going forward. And the more it is digitized, the more it is connected, it will be gender agnostic, I feel, because that's where the data scientist would come into, and then they would dwell into all that. Would say roadmaps for the last mile delivery, drone delivery, then so that all will come under the mobility, wherein we can see that it's more related to the online and the transportation accordingly. And the last is, or not least, is the electrification. So electrification and alternate fuel will be the baseline for connectivity. And when it comes to electrification, mostly you see most of the ladies are there. And my experience in Tata Motors goes that wherever there is software, wherever there is electrification, we do find couple of handful of ladies there. So that will definitely open a new avenue for needy employees in Tata Motors. And we have a good roadmap on that. And
Yeah.
Mostly Tata Motors is leadership most of the case. So this would also be on the leadership side.
Yeah. So I like the most is not attacking concern and not delivery when managing people. Very nice. On this note, I would like to thank you, Shweta, for your time. Thank you for taking part in Mobility Outlook, and thank you for being part of Women in Mobility. Thank you, Shweta.
Thanks, Murli, for short interview and good connect and good questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.